Bring the beat in.
So sweet. Thank you guys so much. What an introduction. That was beautiful. Hi, everyone. My name is Monica. Thank you, 425 Magazine, for having us here. I'm so honored to be here tonight next to the other amazing women that you guys will all hear from telling their powerful stories. I have two young girls, as you heard. I'm a nutritionist, I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a philanthropist. I wear a lot of hats, just like a lot of many women do, but my husband, also as you heard, he wears a hat as well for what he does. He's a baseball player for the Seattle Mariners and has been since 2017. Look at him, isn't he so cute? That's his competitive face. We have been proudly pouring our hearts into different causes in the Seattle community and the greater Seattle community for the past 7 years. While we have been passionate about our community work for a long time, there is one important cause I am really grateful to be able to share with you about tonight that we are very powerfully dedicated to. But first, just an important part about the message that I want to share is the unique path that I've been on that have brought me to this point. My life has taken some unexpected turns, and truthfully, I have not been preparing to do the work that I do today. Yet I strongly believe, and I've learned, that it's our past experiences and our perspective that can leave us much more prepared than we may initially believe. Every direction your life takes you, whether you're in control of it or not, or maybe you're happy about it or not, leaves you with a unique set of tools and experiences that can come together in a very powerful way. I believe where you are right now is preparing you for what is coming next. So just quick little background about our story and how we got here. Marco and I met at Gonzaga University in Spokane, where I studied sports marketing and community relations. There we are. We're just so goofy and young. He played baseball, and I worked my way through many internships and side jobs. Oh my gosh, that picture. He liked my khaki pants and the, headset and thing going on in the walkie-talkie. I liked his baseball uniform. It was cute. So while many of my friends enjoyed their summer breaks, I was always working many internships at a time. I had a direction I was very passionate about, and from as early as my freshman year, I was working really hard to set myself up for success in that field. My humble boyfriend at the time did not help me to anticipate what was coming next. He was drafted in the first round by the St. Louis Cardinals, and I quickly came to understand, look at it, we're still just, young and cute. I quickly came to understand the demands professional sports put on players and their relationships. Not many people know the reality of professional baseball. I didn't either. This new job of his meant he would immediately need to move to Florida or Missouri. We didn't know where. He had no control over where he lived. He could move to a new city within a day's notice due to trades being released or promoted. And if I were to go be with him in our home city, wherever that may be, he would be gone at least half the time. So learning all of this, and while I was so passionate about my own career direction at the time, I decided to break up with him. So sad. Sorry, babe. Don't worry, we got back together. It works out. During our time apart, though, I did land a job working for the top sport and entertainment agency in the industry. And thankfully, we didn't stay apart for too long, but though I did eventually change my career in order for us to be together, that same sport agency that I worked for would later come to represent Marco due to his amazing talent, of course, but also thanks to my connections, relationships, and introductions, we now work with the industry's best. And that same agency is the agency that got us traded to our home city here in Seattle just a few years later. It all came together. Thank you. So back to the story. Once I left the agency, I chose to change my career into something much more transferable and flexible so that we could travel from city to city together. I began working in the fitness industry and would later start my master's in clinical nutrition. While he worked his way through the minor league system and we moved around the country together, I spent time helping open different fitness studios in the cities that we lived in. As a regional trainer with Orange Theory Fitness, I worked in 10 different studios in 5 different states, and was able to help open 3 gyms in a little over 3 years. My passion for helping people in fitness then turned into, of course, a mission for overall health and has led to one specific area of focus for our philanthropic efforts today, which is food insecurity. Access to nutritious and affordable food is increasingly difficult. So Marco and I have partnered with Northwest Harvest, a large food bank in the area, who tries to not only provide food for people who are food insecure, but healthy food to really help them get out of that socioeconomic struggle. One of my favorite projects that we've done with them was our 2020 virtual food drive. When hundreds of thousands of families were cut off from school lunches, we launched a virtual food drive and were able to bring over 1 million meals to kids in Washington state. Thank you guys. Wow. Nice. We are grateful to continue to work with them today, and we tribute my work as a health professional that really helped open our eyes to make a bigger impact. And now we face the biggest challenge and our main mission going forward, MSA. In 2016, when Marco and I were living in Florida, my mom, my best friend, was diagnosed with a rare neurodegenerative disease called multiple systems atrophy. That's her, and she's so beautiful. MSA, it attacks the central nervous system, controlling how a person moves, and the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions such as blood pressure and digestion. It is a progressive, awful disease, and life expectancy after onset of symptoms is currently just 6 to 9 years. There is currently no medication or support to help alleviate symptoms. And because of the rarity of the disease, MSA is in desperate need for funding and overall awareness. That diagnosis absolutely devastated us. Our world was crumbled. I felt as though doctors had got it wrong. And my family adjusted, and we began to battle this awful disease alongside my mom. And I tried my best to focus on something, on anything positive. While she battled, I tried to believe there was a reason our family was chosen to carry this burden. What good could come of this terrible disease, if any? Was it observing her amazing resilience and strength that she modeled for all of us to an extreme extent every single day? Was it the constant grace she showed us that we could all learn from? Was it Marco's and my unique platform that could help make this a positive for the greater good and for her? We won't ever know the answer. All we could do is put one foot in front of the other and face the challenges in front of us while we tried to find the light. We moved forward as best we could. It was a very unique position I had found myself in. While my family and my mom suffered from this incredibly debilitating disease, my husband was in a position where he was winning Major League Baseball games in front of thousands of fans. I have been in the position to be able to hear a stadium filled with 40,000 people cheer him on and chant his name, while I've also held my mom's hand through some of the most heartbreaking moments. And as the tight-knit family that we are, we truly do experience all of it together. You could say we really were living through some unique highs and the lowest lows all at the same time. The word grace became more and more important to us and our family, to be gracious through everything life challenges you with and also gives you. We lost my mom to MSA in 2021 while we were expecting our first baby. During her lifetime, and especially in her battle, she exemplified the true meaning of grace as she modeled unconditional love, forgiveness, and gratitude for others. As she was facing daily challenges and her body failed her, she focused on her loved ones. She always assumed the best in people. Life moves so fast, and she showed us the true value in time spent with one another, just sitting together and enjoying a glass of wine. Almost always we had wine. So for Marco and I, it has become our mission to fundraise and create as much awareness as we possibly can for MSA, while we will always be quietly recovering from the heartbreak the disease has caused us. So along with many different MSA initiatives that we've been a part of over the last few years, just last year we teamed up with our dear friends at Noviello Vineyards to honor my mom and bring funding and awareness to MSA. We launched our own wine in honor of her, of course, Grace G7 wine, which hopefully you guys got to see over in the beautiful Zender area tonight, which donates all proceeds of each bottle purchased to MSA, Defeat MSA Alliance. We want this wine to serve as a reminder to slow down, to be together, and to enjoy special moments and be gracious in both challenging and triumphant moments in life. So here we are today, putting one foot in front of the other, doing the best with what we have, and continuing to look for the good. We now have two beautiful babies, Grace Linda, who's named after my mom, and Siena Marie just joined us about 5 months ago. And as I said when I began this conversation, I have not been preparing for where we are today. But I do know that the tools I have from my past experiences can come together to make a difference. Wherever you are in your life right now may not be exactly where you want to be. You may be facing challenges that don't make sense and seem unfair. But I strongly believe what you are going through now in this moment will prepare you for what's coming next. There is always something we can take from our experiences that will help our future selves. And I guarantee that you are stronger than you believe that you are. That agency I worked for shortly after college is the same agency that brought us to Seattle and secured a long-term contract to help stay in the city with my mom and the community that we love. If Marco was not a baseball player, I may not have been able to spend the time with her that I did while she battled her disease. The passion and experience I have as a health professional brings unique insight to our partnership with Northwest Harvest and our initiative to make healthy food available. And I may never be able to make sense of my mom's passing. I won't, but I'll continue to work on it. And while we will always be quietly recovering from the devastation of an awful disease, we will continue to shine light on the need for funding and awareness to create a better future. And we keep moving forward, carrying on my mom's legacy of fighting MSA. Through life's triumphs and challenges and all of life's phases, we will always show ourselves and one another grace. Thank you so much, everybody. Please find the wine.